Last year, I was a California community college student, and this year, I'm a junior year transfer student at UCLA. And boy, has it been a wild ride. I learned a lot of things during my time at UCLA. Specifically, how UCLA has easily violated my expectations. So I'm making this video. I really wanted to film and upload this video as soon as possible because it is currently April, aka the month of when transfer decisions start to roll out. So excuse my terrible voice. I've been a little sick and I lost my voice for a couple days, so I kind of sound like Abby Lee Miller and Justin Bieber's Secret Love Child. That should be me, holding your hand. That should be me, making you laugh. Hopefully your transfer journeys are going well, and if you're watching this video after getting your transfer acceptances, then welcome. Now prepare yourself on what to expect. Transfer discrimination. Yeah, so it's a real thing. It's not in the way you're thinking of, like once you enter university, people aren't going to be like throwing tomatoes at you for being a transfer student. If anything, your friends and peers are completely fine with that and they're really chill. It's the student organizations, clubs, internships, and jobs that are going to hate you. There are these professional business clubs at UCLA that are supposedly harder to get into than getting admitted into UCLA itself. But the minute they see that you're above a sophomore level or you're a transfer student, this is your application, they throw it away. And not just the professional business clubs, some funsy clubs will just reject you because they think you're too old. Oh, I am 2 years older than you! You guys act like Anne Frank was my friend back in the days. A lot of transfer students are aware of the discrimination they face even when they apply for professional jobs and internships. So for the most part, the minute you transfer out of community college, you have to get rid of that on your resume. And you have to get rid of the years of when you were a student at a school. You just have to say like graduating UCLA at like 2026. Or whatever your year is. And you just have to pray that your little club, internship, or job won't find out that you're a transfer student. Okay, so I had a plan, a vision, that I was gonna study abroad in fall of 2025. Let's just say that's not gonna happen. Apparently because I'm a transfer student, I am severely limited to a lot of study abroad programs. And it's not just a problem I'm experiencing. A lot of transfer students I've talked to all discussed how they were all either forced or rushed into other study abroad options because their original study abroad option straight up rejected all of them, saying that they lacked UC credits. Lack UC credits? Counselor, you seem to be lacking of bitches! While I was a community college student, I had so many options and flexibilities for all the classes I needed to enroll in. I could choose the time, the day, whether they were online, in person, or even asynchronous. Let's say I needed to take Comm 11, which is like, I believe it's Comm 1 at UCLA. Look at how many classes there are for me to choose from! I can pick an ideal schedule for me to work around my needs and other extracurricular activities such as work, volunteering, or just my personal life. And I don't have to worry about limited spacing because there are so many other backup options. On the other hand, let's say I need to take like Comm 100, which every single communication student has to take before graduating. They only offer that class once a year. And there's only one option for that class, so you really have to make everything around it work with that one schedule, and it's so annoying. You have zero options and flexibilities for classes at UCLA. Not to mention that you literally have to fight for the classes too. Enrollment time is a literal bloodbath at UCLA, and I always end up perishing. I did not anticipate protests happening like a lot. During my 2 years at community college, I think there's only ever been like one major fight, but it wasn't really a protest. But at UCLA, like every other day, there's a new protest happening. And it's really interesting because one side of UCLA, there's like a fight or protest breaking out, and exactly opposite of that side is like a K-pop music video shooting happening. And I'm not saying protests are a bad thing, I was just shocked of how often it happens. However, these protests can lead to other issues, which is my next point. Classes get cancelled so often. I don't think I've ever had a single class cancelled at community college, but I can't say the same for UCLA. Classes get cancelled so often at UCLA, and always so last minute too, and it kind of sucks as a commuter student because I will commute from home to school just for classes to be canceled on the spot. Some of these cancellations happened because of protest, and sometimes the teachers just cancel because they feel like it. My professor literally canceled 10 minutes before class started because of flooding. We live in Los Angeles, where is the flooding? You have such limited time to decide on a minor. I'm urging every one of you community college students right now to think of a minor to enroll in. I was really lucky that I knew right away that I wanted to minor in film and television, so the minute I transferred to UCLA, I was already looking at the enrollment process of how to declare film and television as my minor. And the process to minor in film and television is kind of long, so I'm really thankful that I researched beforehand. So I'm saying this once again, if you guys want to pursue a minor in a certain subject you're interested in, do your research beforehand. It'll save you so much time, stress, and energy. I'm really glad I did.
Wait.
Everything moves so fast. I did not know UCLA operated on a quarter system instead of a semester system, and I didn't find out until like a month before I was about to transfer. Yeah, I'm an idiot. But if I'm gonna be 100% honest, as a social science major, I kind of like the fast pacing of the quarter system. I do tend to get really bored easily if I'm on a topic for too long, but since I'm constantly enrolling in new class after new class and learning something new, I'm like constantly on my toes. However, if I was a STEM student or had to take any science or math courses on the quarter system at UCLA, I'd simply unalive myself. Taking a statistic course for a couple months at community college was literal hell for me. I don't think I would have been able to handle it at UCLA in a couple of weeks. So to all my STEM majors at UCLA, I salute you because that's gotta be tough. Your TAs are 100% responsible for your grades, not your professors. I was really shocked about this because at community college there are no TAs, or at least none of the classes I took. But at UCLA there is a TA in every single class I take, and they are 100% responsible for your grade. There are some pros and cons with this because if your TA is really chill and really cool, then you know the class is gonna be a breeze. But sometimes you have those TAs that take it way too seriously, even more seriously than the professors themselves. No shade to any of the TAs I've taken, but personally, I'm not a huge fan of TAs being responsible for all your grades. Because I'm so used to the TAs teaching you stuff and grading you based on what they taught you, and not the TAs doing all of that. Because sometimes the TAs don't agree with what the professor's saying and they'll grade it completely different. There were a couple times where I got really bad grades from a TA, and when I went to their office hours and told them like, hey, this is what the professor put on their syllabus, so why did I get a bad grade? Sometimes they'll just tell me like,
oh, I just don't agree with that.
well, I wish you would have told me sooner. Personally, I prefer it if the professor grades my stuff because I feel like the TAs just look for something completely different or are a lot harsher than the professors themselves. But not all. Like I said, I've had really chill TAs too, and they're really cool. And that was my video. Hopefully you guys learned something valuable, and hopefully your transfer journeys are going down a smooth lane. I know I made this video being like, oh my god, transferring was not like what I expected at all. But in truth, it's not that bad. You honestly get used to it pretty fast, and I think I'm finally like accepting the fact that I actually am a UCLA student and not just someone cosplaying as a UCLA student. But yeah, I'm alive, I'm thriving, so I think that's a pretty good sign. Don't be scared when you transfer schools because it's a brand new journey, and new journeys, you know, some of them are fun, some of them are scary, but you learn something new at the end of the day, and that's what matters. My voice and my camera is dying at the same time, so we'll see you next time. Hopefully I'll feel better. Bye!